Dear viewers, welcome to the one-on-one set. Our guest tonight is Jordan Kensington. He is a British entrepreneur and the founder of Urban Music Awards. Tonight, we are going to learn more about him and how he paved his way to success.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Fantastic. Come over, come on, say, baby, she come right home. Like, it's a pleasure to be here in Mauritius from the UK to launch the first ever Mauritius Urban Music Awards.
Jordan, thank you so much for joining us in the studio of the MBC.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here, Kyle.
Jordan, you are an entrepreneur and the founder of Urban Music Awards, an award show that celebrates the achievement of R&B and jazz music artists in various countries. How did your journey as an entrepreneur begin?
Yes, my journey as an entrepreneur began when I was 18 years old. It's a funny thing. I was at university doing a law degree, and on my last year of the law degree, I decided to do an experiment. I decided to send 90 letters to companies. This is back in the 90s, by the way, and to say to them, listen, I've just graduated. Can I have a job at your company? And literally, lo and behold, a week later, I received 90 letters and loads of letters coming back saying, no, 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 unfortunately, we can't give you a job. Now, this is an experiment to find out what was going to happen when I graduated. So it occurred to me that a year left in university, when I graduated, it would be difficult to get a job. So I decided at university to start a company. And I started a company, Invincible. And the company grew from the students. This was before MySpace, before the YouTubes and Facebook. It was, I would say, a forum, a platform, a social media platform. And before you knew it, we had about 20,000 students on the platform, talking, communicating. And then we got so big, we had to launch a magazine, Invincible Magazine. And then we launched a radio station, a television station. And then by the time I graduated to university, and by the time I turned about 20, we'd sold that company for £30 million. And then becoming one of the youngest entrepreneurs in that time to do what we did. And then I decided to now invest in different things. Whilst I was running the magazine, I had artists from America, the UK come to us and say, you're the only magazine giving us exposure. There was no award ceremony celebrating urban music. At the time, I remember there were people like the Beyoncés trying to get across with Destiny's Child, Usher, Amy Winehouse, rest in peace, Adele, Ed Sheeran, loads of artists trying to make it. And we decided to launch the UMA Academy, which led to the Urban Music Awards. The UMA Academy was basically to teach artists how to not only do music, how to be entrepreneurs. Because we looked at the industry, and everything in life is about looking at the problem and figuring out the solution. So we looked at the music industry across the world. Of course, before we launched the Urban Music Awards, there was loads of hip-hop acts. There was loads of R&B acts. But we looked at the industry and said, why do all of the artists sell hundreds and hundreds of millions of records, but they end up being broke? So what's happening? What's going on? Prince, Michael Jackson, what's going on? So we decided to launch the academy to teach artists how to make sustainable business from the music. Because music, sometimes people look at it and say, oh, you're doing music, you're doing art. But this is a multi-billion-pound business. It's the art industry also is a multi-billion-pound industry. So we taught artists how to, literally be financially profitable, how to get into business, how to understand the influence they got with the fan base they have, how to understand how to utilize that influence to create products, merchandise, brands, etc. And also how to connect artists with other artists, So the Urban Music was launched in the UK. We expanded in the US, expanded in the Caribbean, expanded across Africa, went into Asia as well, and now we're in 15 countries. And the whole idea from the start was to empower artists. And we've had some amazing artists come off the Urban Music Awards, from Beyonce to Usher to Adele, to anyone who for the past 21 years or has been doing music successfully will tie their roots back to the Urban Music Awards. Yeah.
But is entrepreneurship something that you've always wanted to do?
Yes, entrepreneurship has always been in my DNA. My dad, before he passed away, owned the bank, and my mom literally had entrepreneur in her DNA. She did law, like I was doing at university, but when she had us, me and my sister, she decided that she didn't like the educational system and created her own nursery school, her own primary school, and you will not believe it. She bought a forest and took the forest down and created her own college called Mother Teresa College, named after Mother Teresa from Calcutta. And we went to her institution. So we got taught entrepreneurship from my institution. So it was always in our DNA to always find solutions to problem. She didn't like the educational system. She created her own educational system. And now we had kids that have graduated, they're doctors, lawyers all across the world from Mother Teresa's College. And I saw something with the music industry, and I created the Urban Music Awards in 15 countries. I saw something with, the property industry, and I created a property company. I saw something with educational, business schools, and I created a business university. So every business I've created so far, whether it's, in properties, whether it's in, music, whether it's in film, television, everything I've created has been because I've seen there was a gap in the market for people that needed a solution to a problem. And I was there to think about the solution to that problem. And I think that's the driving force of many successful entrepreneurs.
And you mentioned you launched your company Invincible in 1999.
Yes.
What was the main aim of creating that company?
Invincible I didn't even know what the name meant, right?
Okay.
I know now, obviously. But when I launched Invincible, I was in a place where I had found out that if you don't launch a business, you don't have monopoly of your life, meaning you don't have control of your life. So what I did was I prayed. I be honest. I went on my knees and prayed to God and said, "Listen, give me an idea, give me something there." And the word invincible came to my head, and I was just 18. I didn't know what invincible meant. I didn't think to go to the dictionary and find out what invincible meant. It just came to my head, and Invincible became a media publishing, marketing, and a property company. And we published several newspapers. We launched a television network. We ended up, launching events like the World Fashion Awards, the Urban Music Awards. And then in property, we bought hotels, restaurants, and really expanded across the world. So it became a celebrated company. And then Invincible gave birth to, the brand Mokingo. Mokingo means love. And Mokingo International Group is, Invincible is a company that represents Europe, South America, and Asia. And Mokingo is Invincible's sister in Africa. So we launched Mokingo in Africa. And I decided with Mokingo to create a word like Google, right? And what I wanted the word to mean was love. I didn't want it to be in any country's dialect, so you don't say, oh, he's from Cameroon, he's from Mauritius. I just wanted something that I would create a word from the start called Mokingo, and it would mean love. And what we're doing in Africa is the same. We're empowering entrepreneurs, we're empowering young people, because young people are the future. We need to teach them how to lead. We need to teach them how to dream big. We need to teach them how to be able to go out there and make their dreams come true. And most importantly, because Mokingo is called love, we need to teach them about love. See, if you want to be successful in life and you have this love as your driving force, most of the things that we feel that it's hard for us to come by comes to us when we have love. Because with love, you don't have competition. So if you don't compete against anybody, you help them. And if you're helping people and you help thousands of people, then you have thousands of people that love you. And you have thousands of people that love you, then you're rich. So love is the key, is the driving force of
You have to
the
be your
next
own
chapter.
competition, maybe. Because in that way, you'll achieve better like every day in your day-to-day life. You have to be your own
I
competition.
completely agree with you. You have to be your own competition to compete on your personal best. Every day you have to look at yourself in the mirror and firstly tap yourself in the shoulder that you've achieved this far. And then your personal best should never be confused for perfection. You see, there's a lot of people who want to be perfect. And I've said this, do not strive for perfection. It doesn't exist. If you strive for perfection, you're going to be angry and depressed for the rest of your life. You should strive for your personal best. And your personal best is what makes you happy. And that's a very important thing. What makes you smile? What makes you say, hi, I've done this? And all of that comes from love. It's very simple. So what makes someone else happy might not make you happy, you know, and what you think could make you happy because you've watched a lot of films might not be what makes you happy. So finding that is to understand that it all circles back to love. When you show love to other people, when you show understanding to other people, when you help others, what you find is, you know, that makes you happy. And if you keep doing it, you're going to find a bigger passion to achieve all the dreams that you want to dream.
And like you said, you're the founder of the Urban Music Awards that recognize the talent of urban-based artists, producers, DJs, record labels. How did you come up with that concept, and how are the winners selected?
Yeah, the Urban Music Awards came out of really seeing artists struggling. And I said, I really want artists not to struggle anymore. I saw artists in America struggling. I saw artists in the UK, Europe struggling, artists in Asia struggling. And saying to myself, I want to create something that helps them understand that music, to make money from music is not just selling CDs or selling streams, etc. You can partner with brands. You can have your own brand. You can expect, and most of these are not taught in school. So when you have a talent to sing or write, you normally just want to go to a recording studio and just sing, write, and put your stuff out there. But unfortunately, it's a multi-billion-pound business. So while you're putting your stuff out there, somebody's making the millions and billions. And by the time you open your eyes, because you've been on private jets, you've been touring around the whole world, you think you're rich. But the day you open your eyes, when nobody wants to buy your CD anymore, you find out your multi-million-pound lifestyle was the label's lifestyle, not your lifestyle. And then you find yourself being back to where you started. So I wanted that to stop. And the good thing I'm seeing is now the legacy of that is I think we've inspired and made a lot of multimillionaires around the world who also not just have the money, also have a passion to give back. Have the passion to show love. They get involved with loads of charity. Some of the artists that we gave awards to from Africa when we launched in Africa. Fuse ODG had the #1 song called Azonto Worldwide. He's gone back to launch a huge school in Ghana, where he's from. You know, we've found, you know, artists like Kanye West, who when I met, he was just come up from an accident, and then nobody knew who Kanye West was. And Kanye West has gone on to inspire loads of people with what he's done worldwide. Rihanna, who I met in Barbados years ago, we found Rihanna, and Rihanna has gone on to be an international success. She was singing in St. Lawrence Gap. She's now not just a musical success. She's partnered with Louis Vuitton with a brand, Fenty. Fenty's worth billions. She's a billionaire, you know. So that's the idea of 21 years ago. That's the idea of the Urban Music Awards. Someone has to come on board and say, hey, you know, it's time that artists don't have to write slave on their wall like Prince and walk into companies. They actually are able to make billion-pound companies, because an artist is a genius because of what they can do. Anybody who is able to Bob Marley the world, anybody who's able to touch people across the world with something is a genius. And you have to be able to give them the ability to create wealth, or show them how to create wealth. And it takes a village to teach people that, listen, it's not just about if you like to make burgers, it's not just about making the best burger in the world and then going back home and you don't have a home. It's about making burgers, learning how to become a burger shop, learning how to franchise the burger shop, learning how to create wealth for your family, for your family's families, and for the generations to come.
And you've recently launched Urban Music Awards in Mauritius as well.
Yes.
Do you feel that it's an opportunity for the local artists to gain more visibility?
Yeah, it was very exciting. I've been coming to Mauritius for the past 7 years and witnessing loads of amazing talent here in Mauritius. And I felt the same. I felt that the talent in Mauritius deserved to be internationally successful. The Black Ayos, the Big Frankies, the Maddie Maddies, the Prophecies. So we launched MUMA. So Mauritius is the 15th country that the Urban Music Awards has launched to. So MUMA stands for Mauritius Urban Music Awards. It actually took place on the 30th of October. And, it's all voted for by music fans, right? So music fans in Mauritius. But then what we also did is we expanded the music of Mauritius artists to fans worldwide by showing their videos on television stations in the UK and America and getting fans from the UK, America, and the whole of Africa to also vote online. We had about 2.3 million votes on mokingo.com for the winners. And, people like Cassia and Desiree Francois won a Lifetime Achievement Award, and they were in tears on stage. We had Black Ayo won Best Artist in Mauritius and Rodriguez. Big Frankie won 2 awards. Bumbleclap won Best Newcomer. These are people that I would never have known about, but the world now knows about them. And now artists from across the world are emailing to want to collaborate with them. So you might see Sean Paul working with a Mauritian artist. You might see Rihanna choosing to work with an artist here. And what does that do for the economy? It boosts the economy. But also, what does that do for the country as well? It shows the country to be creative, best place in tourism, best place in talent, and also best place in brands. So it's empowering the musicians to go out there and fly the flag for Mauritius all across the world. The same way as Bob Marley's, the Sean Pauls flew the flag for a small island called Jamaica and made it an international place.
Yeah. It's a great medium, we can say, to promote the Mauritian music as well as their artists.
Of course, it's very important. I mean, MUMA is going to be very important for Mauritius. We also launched the official Mauritius charts, which is running in adjacent with MUMA, giving artists a platform, such as like a Spotify-related platform for artists to actually release their song on the official Mauritius charts, and Mauritians all across the world and fans all across the world to be able to download the music and get them into the charts as well. So it's all about really looking at a solution and saying, hey, I know you guys are very talented, but it takes someone saying, hey, it would be great for Big Frankie to be a multi-billionaire. It would be great for Black Ayo to be known internationally, to be working with, Kanye West, to be working with Beyonce. It would be great. We did the same in Africa. Beyonce just did an album, and it featured some of the up-and-coming artists in Africa. Do you know how much promotion it gave for African music? Having a big star like Beyonce to go across and do that sort of stuff. And it all comes back to what I was talking to you about, humility and giving people opportunities to think outside the box and to shine internationally.
To go outside their comfort zone as well.
100%. But comfort zone is a killer of creativity, ideas, and dreams. You have to take risks in life. You have to be able to say, if the sky is the limit, reach for the stars. It's very important.
That's a beautiful line. But what are the different categories that Urban Music Awards has?
Yeah, we have Best Album, we have Artist of the Year, we have, Best Singer-Songwriter. We have all these different categories, but we were one of the first companies to actually launch public voting. Before we launched, and obviously Urban Music Awards, I founded Urban Music Awards, but we own some of the other biggest award ceremonies. In fashion, we own the World Fashion Awards. In television, we own the National Film and Television Awards in America. So we were the first company to say, no more judging panel. We want the nominations to be nominated by music fans because they're the ones who buy the singles and stream and go to your gigs. But we also want the music fans to also vote for who they want to win. So it's transparent. So anybody who you saw won the Urban Music Awards for the past 18 years, it's 18th anniversary, and obviously MUMA, Mauritius Urban Music Awards, was nominated for and voted for by music fans, not just in Mauritius, but across the world who got to discover them. And I think it's the fair way to do things. And I've always been about fairness to make sure, you don't have just a few people deciding the fate of others. You say, listen, who are the people who are the direct supporters? They should be the ones to have the voice. That's how it's always been.
Jordan, you are a very successful entrepreneur, but I'm sure that your journey hasn't only been very smooth. You've had your ups and downs. What were those challenges and how did you overcome them?
I've had loads of challenges in life, and what I look at now as challenges is I look at them as opportunities. And the reason I say that, it takes hindsight to learn. You have to learn every single day from what you go through. I learned that fear, I have an acronym, it stands for false evidence appearing real. It means fear doesn't exist. So when you have a problem and you think is the worst problem in the world or challenge, I learned to say that's your instinct saying to you that there's a different path happening. Like one door closes, another door opens. Now, in hindsight, every problem you've ever had, when you look back, you thought that was the craziest, biggest problem in the world. How did you make it to today if that was true? Because at that point, if someone has said to you, hey, don't worry about it, in 5 years' time, you're going to look back, this didn't exist. You say, no, this is crazy, I'm going about it. So the now is the present and the gift to help us understand that the past will always be history and the future is a mystery. So when you're in the now, understand that yesterday is finished, is over. Today is a new day. And understand the problems and the challenges that you're going through right now is actually opportunities in disguise. It's just the way you look at them. If you look at them as a problem, it will be a problem. If you look at them as an opportunity in disguise, you're going to attract that opportunity that this challenge is trying to give to you. They say diamonds are not just diamonds. They come under pressure. And after pressure, they become the diamonds that we all love. And if they didn't go under that pressure, they won't be the diamonds today. And when they're the diamonds, nobody talks about the pressure. They will look at it and say, oh, that's actually amazing. That's good jewelry. But nobody sees the pressure that went before they became the diamonds that you like today.
It's important to know failures as well in order to know success, like you say.
Mm-hmm. Very important. It's very, very important to know success. It's very important to think successfully. And what do I mean about thinking successfully? Everything about you from when you get up in the morning dictates how your day is going to be, how your week is going to be, how your month is going to be, how your year, how your life is going to be. One false move for 2 seconds can ruin your whole life. And people don't know this. So one false move could be by the time you were sleeping at night, you watched a horror film. And then you had a worse dream, and you got up in the morning and you felt really bad, and you had to go for a meeting, and that meeting was going to be that meeting that would change your whole life. But because you've had a false start, that you've ruined that meeting, and you say, oh, that wasn't meant to be for me. No, it was meant to be for you, but you didn't prepare yourself, because you see, your body is a vehicle. But the thing is, a vehicle has a manual on how to run the vehicle, but your body comes to you and nobody gives you a manual. Or maybe in human biology class, they teach you what your fingers can do, your eyes can do, but nobody's really giving you a book and say, listen, this is the book of your body, and this is the book of your mind, and this is a book of your soul, and this is how to run your mind, body, and soul. So we end up learning from different places and trying to piece up the information together, and by the time we're 60 or 70, we're like, oh, we finally know, but it's you're 70, you know? So you spend your whole life piecing up information, whereas what we should be teaching is the power of the mind, body, and soul. So you know the manual of your book. So then you can think success, and then you can attract success, and then your life becomes much more easier, because life is meant to be simple, not complicated. We complicate it.
Of course. And talking about book, you've written your book that is Mr. Invincible, Following Your Intuition. Tell us more about it, and how important do you think it is to follow your intuition and take risk in everyday life?
I think that's the most important thing I would say to everyone who's watching and to young people, that following your intuition is something that you have, it's your gut instinct. You have that from when you were born. You know, I've just, you know, my wife and I have just given, you know, we got a new son, Jordan Jr., first boy, and I see him before he turned 1, he would eat anything. It would literally, anything you give him, he would eat. And then it came to a point where he chooses what he wants to eat. He knows what he doesn't like. He knows who he doesn't like as well. You can take him and give him to somebody, and he will go, no. And the question, and sometimes we force, we say, no, you go, go, go. What you're doing is you're killing the baby's intuition, because that intuition is that you think he's read something you haven't read, because he's more like clear in his mind. So if you build someone's intuition, what happens is you start understanding the responses that your body, your mind is giving you. Every question you have is inside you. It's not outside you. And it's an inside job to understand the Picasso that's inside before you draw the painting. So you have to be able to follow and learn how to follow your intuition. And how do you do it? You have to create a relationship with your mind, body, and soul. You heard a lot of people that say, I can't be anywhere by myself. I need to be around people. I need to be around people because I need to be speaking to people. The reason is they're not comfortable with themselves. And the reason they're not comfortable with themselves, they are strangers to themselves. They can't talk to themselves. And when you say to them, why can't you talk to themselves? They say, well, that's crazy. Talking to yourself is silly. Talking to yourself is mad. So then I asked them, I said, who told you it was mad to talk to yourself? Who told you it's mad to talk to yourself? So you want to talk to me, but you don't want to talk to yourself. So you don't want to get to know you. You don't want to get to know what you like. You don't want to get to know how you feel, but you want to get to know how everybody else feels. And some people give good advice, but they never talk to themselves. So the idea is learning from you, learning your mind, body, and soul, understanding the interaction, understanding that your mind is not your friend. Your mind just attracts crazy stuff. You can literally be daydreaming about things, and your mind is just going, you need to call your mind back and say, stop. Your soul is one soul food. You need to deliver your soul the things that nourishes it. And your body just takes commands. You can tell your hand, move now, and you move now. So you need to learn that dynamics to have the balance. And those are the things that are important. And that's why I wrote the book, Following My Intuition, because I wanted to write a book that was both autobiographical, but also giving real life examples of how I followed my intuition in cases that led me here today.
We are actually drawing towards the end of this episode, but before that, Jordan, you've recently launched the Urban Music Awards in Mauritius, but now what's your vision for it?
The vision for the Urban Music Awards in total across the world is to keep expanding and keep taking artists from obscurity to international stars and creating businesses for them, and really empowering the entrepreneurship in them, and most importantly, spreading the love across the world. That's one of the most important things.
And a message you would like to give to our youngsters who are watching us right now to encourage them to pursue their dreams?
Yeah, I mean, to all the young people watching us right now, one of the messages I want to give is that with everything you do in your life, follow your intuition. Dream big. If someone says reach for the sky, reach for the stars. And most importantly, have love be the driving force. If you have love in everything you do and you're not just out to compete or hurt people, you will be successful. If you have that mindset of love, you're going to attract everything that you want in life. It should be the driving force. So young people, I say you are the next generation, you are the future, but the future is run by people. If you want to have a successful future, you have to have that love in you to make sure you can build a community of success moving forward.
Thank you so much, Jordan. It was such an honor to have you on the set of One on One and talk about your inspiring journey.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Dear viewers, we have now come to the end of this episode. Thank you for your time. We hope to catch you next week at the same time, same channel. Have a great evening.